Hey guys, and welcome to Manifestation Moments Sunday. If you haven't seen my previous videos like this, I encourage you to check out my playlist under Law of Attraction. So, what I do on Sundays is I try to take a few minutes to give you something to focus on for the upcoming week, to help you on the path to manifesting what it is you want to achieve in life, be it finances, career, love life, anything. And I always start off by doing a drawing and then giving you the guidance that we're all meant to hear for the week. So, for those who have been watching thus far, you'll probably be glad to know that do as I say, not as I do thing has gone by the wayside, and I have officially started my very own manifestation journal. So, every morning I write in it 3 things I'm grateful for and 3 things I'm working towards manifesting. So I hope we can hold all of ourselves accountable and continue working towards our goals and our dreams for the future and doing it together. Just a few more shuffles. One more. Whoop. You know what? I will leave that one to the side. It fell out for a reason, right? Okay. By the way, see, I don't know if you can see it, that little tiny spot right there on my thumb, that's how you know you've been shuffling a lot of cards. So right off the bat, my goals are more important than my fears. So it seems like some of us are still struggling with overcoming self-sabotage, which quite honestly I relate to because I tend to do that myself. And it says, I am always growing and transforming. My success is my decision. I surrender my worries to the universe. The more I give, the more I receive. And I'm actually drawn to draw one more card. I am an infinite being with an infinite potential. Usually I only draw 5 cards for these manifestation moments, but I just felt drawn to do one more tonight. And interesting, I know this isn't hugely related, but it's interesting to me that we have these 2 black cards in the center and 2 orange cards on either side. So if I wanted to, I could literally do something like this and make it into a butterfly. So that just struck me as that's kind of interesting, because there are black, orange, and also white cards in this deck, which you can see some right here. Anyway, so right off the bat, understandably, absolutely 100% understandably, it seems like a lot of us are dealing with anxieties, with dealing with potentially moments of self-sabotage, which, like I said already, I completely relate to. Unfortunately, I have this mental capacity that the moment things are going right, my anxiety and depression like to start to come in and going, what if, you know? So I know if that is something that you are struggling with, how hard that can be to combat. And it's why things like self-care are so important. It's reasons why keeping up with your journal, even on the days when you don't feel like doing it, is important. Because what that helps to do is refocus your mind and refocus your brain on concentrating on the things that are positive in your life, as well as the things that you really want deep down to come to fruition. So cards like this, and here we have a lion. It looks even like their mane isn't fully developed. So one could even look at this card and see a male lion coming into his own, but not quite certain of where life is going to take him. So try to remember that with your anxieties, if you struggle with mental health, if you struggle with depression, if you have issues outside of your control going on right now, that the important thing is to remember that despite all of that, you can still achieve your dreams. And that's something that we often forget. I am always growing and transforming. Right now, the world is thrust into chaos, and many places, many countries are going into another lockdown. Many areas are working towards trying to get the pandemic under control again. A lot of things are scary and uncertain right now, but that doesn't mean that despite whatever's going on in the world, that something positive can't come from it. I have said in many of these videos that 2020 is a huge year for manifesting and growth, and you see a lot of changes and shifting going on. People have taken the time during the shutdowns and everything, and being out of work and everything of that nature, to focus on the things that they want to achieve. And some of them I've actually learned have actually manifested their dreams. There was a video not that long ago of a couple where the man lost his job because of the pandemic, and his wife is a teacher, so she has still maintained working and having some sort of income. But because he was displaced and he no longer had a job, he switched his focus to focusing on building a business that he always dreamed about creating and never had the time, or thought that he couldn't do it. And because now he had nothing but time, he actually put it into action. And not only did he put it into action, he built a productive business, and one that started blossoming to the point that he was able to fulfill his wife's dream. And he bought them the house his wife grew up in, that she absolutely loved, and that her parents had sold at some point. So do not think that with everything going on, you are incapable of manifesting the things that you want to achieve. You absolutely can. Now, absolutely, you'll have to put some work into it. But we as people are never stagnant unless we allow ourselves to be. We are always changing. We are always shifting, whether it be our mindsets, whether it be our goals, whether it be things that we like even. So know that you're always growing and transforming, and with that, you can always achieve your goals. My success is my decision. This is especially important because a lot of people think that you can just think things into existence. And I'm not saying that the power of thought and the power of manifestation isn't a very powerful thing. It absolutely is. But you also have to put in the work. Okay? The universe has this thing about it, I guess you could say, where life very infrequently just hands you things on a silver platter. You have to work for it. You have to want it. You have to put in the time. You have to put in the research. Of course, I'm drawn to this card because I'm a Libra and my sign is a scale. So all of that is kind of like, but this also talks about finding balance and achieving balance. Maybe you are currently displaced right now and you went from working every day in a job that you may or may not have liked to now having all this time on your hands. Well, it's time to take some of that time and really say, you know what is something I've always wanted to do? What is something that I've always thought about doing? And you may have bumps in the road, you may have hits and misses and things that you start to go for, but that doesn't mean that you can't achieve your goal. But this is now the time to really work out the kinks and see what works, what doesn't, and how to shift things in your favor. I surrender my worries to the universe. This goes back to that releasing your anxieties. And I've spoken many times on different techniques that you can use to work on that. You can find them in the Law of Attraction playlist that I have here. But most of all, and I know the hardest thing is when you are stuck in the middle of that depressive cycle or that anxiety attack and everything of that nature, to refocus yourselves. And somebody I follow on Instagram the other day posted something from Esther Hicks. And if you don't know Esther Hicks, she is a intuitive, and she has a lot of meditations and lectures that she has given about channeling the vortex and staying in the vortex to manifest what it is that you want. But the specific quote that was taken from her, and why I like her, is because she does talk about putting in the work and putting in the effort. But this one particular quote that someone had posted, I had to go, because one of the videos that I've spoken about is toxic positivity. And this particular post, and I'm paraphrasing here, went along the lines of, if you manifest something negative, it's your fault because you thought it into existence. And I'm like, that's not true. That is absolutely not true. There are situations in everybody's life that no one could even have dreamed of, and, you know, shit happens. Let's just call it what it is. And that was one of those moments where it was like, and it went on to say something of, you have to keep your mindset in a positive space in order to focus it on manifesting what it is you want. I'm like, but that's not reality. It's really not reality, and it's really hard for anybody in the middle of a situation where anything can happen to hold on to that everything's going to be great mental frame. So do your best when you notice yourself having these negative thoughts and everything, to try to release them to the universe and ask the universe to take them from you and transmute them into positive energy. But know that it's okay as well. Acknowledge that there is something in you right now that is afraid, and that there is something in you that is uncertain, and that's part of being human, and that's okay to experience those things. Do your best, though, not to dwell on them. So keep in mind that having those moments is completely normal. It's completely human to experience them. The key is just to not hold on to them. And when you notice yourself having this moment where all it does is keep circling in your brain, I want you to take those moments and mentally put them in some sort of basket. Picture it in your mind. Put all these worries and everything and put them in a basket. And then imagine a hand reaching down from the universe, picking up that basket and taking it away from you. You may have to do it more than once, however often you need it to. It's just a mental exercise that can really help. And sometimes even something as small as talking about it can help release that energy, so you're not holding on to it all the time and just having it circle in your mind. The more I give, the more I receive. The universe tends to favor those who give to others. Now, this does not have to be something physical. It can absolutely be, you know, you start going through the process of purging your home, or purging items that you have that you feel you no longer want or need, and you donate them. It can absolutely be that, but keep in mind that it doesn't have to be something physical or something monetary. It can just be your time. If you're displaced right now, maybe you can find ways to volunteer to help others, be it working maybe for a food bank or volunteering at a food bank, helping to hand out food to people who come through with their cars and putting food in their cars so that they are able to get through one more day. Just any little thing you can do to try to help others also tends to make you a magnet for receiving. And what I always try to do when I'm planning on either spending money or if I'm giving, I always try to do so purposefully with the mental frame of mind that I'm doing so without any expectation of return, ever. On occasion, if it's something like I'm going to the grocery store, or if I'm finding I have to spend money, those are the moments where I'm like, every penny I spend comes back to me threefold. And I'll put that energy out there anytime I spend money, or however many times you want to say it. You could say tenfold or however much. But remember that the more that you give and the more selfless you are, the more you tend to receive. In this last card, I am an infinite being with infinite potential. I think it was just yesterday, or it may have actually been before I came in to record today. We are told in life that there are rules. And granted, there are certain rules that you can't really get around, like gravity exists, you know, certain mathematical and logistical realities that, you know, you can't really think your way out of. But a lot of the man-made rules are things that we are fed from the time that we're very young. We're told what to believe, we're told how to be, we're told, you know, well, you can only do this. And limiting beliefs are put on us from the time that we're very young, all the way through life. But what if you could retrain yourself and retrain your mind to see that the world can be so much more than what you've ever imagined? What if you could realize to yourself, I have absolutely no limitations on what it is I can achieve. There are no limitations on what I deserve to have in life. There are no limitations to fulfilling my dreams. It might help you if you've started your manifestation journal, to dedicate a page or two to just writing down that your potential and your potential for manifestation is limitless. With everything, though, I will remind everyone that with great power comes great responsibility. Try to honor the manifestation, respect the power that comes with it. But have faith that it will always have your back and the universe will always be on your side. And if you find times that there is something that you really wanted and you feel restricted from it, try to be mindful that there's always a reason, and the universe always knows more than we do. But you are still a being with infinite potential. So with all of that said, and until next time, I wish you all the brightest of blessings, and blessed be.